by surveillance. Northern Ireland hides behind the genocide, and what to do is to weaponize anti-Semitism in order to cover their tracks. Darmer and Lamy, the evidence should be put to the Hague for them to be processed in the Hague. They support war crimes, and the welcome war crimes, as the BBC do. The BBC put on Netanyahu, a noted worldwide war criminal, to put him on and put his point of view, really. But the people of Britain have stood up and they've rejected genocide, that they can murder over 20,000 children and probably another 10,000 under the rubble, over 10,000 women and probably over 100,000 people, right in front of the eyes of the world. It is a Holocaust which has been happening in Gaza, and when they want us to remember what happened in Germany, it's shameful that people, when we remember what happened to the Jewish community in Germany and the shocking crimes that were committed there by the Nazis.
Stakes are high. They're not asking for much. They're remanded prisoners. They shouldn't be in there. They should be given bail. And if they're not given bail, then and you are going to keep them in prison for so long, don't torture them in prisons and treat them like terrorists. I think the British state has left them with no option but to do this hunger strike for their freedom.
And finally, we've heard this before. What is the demand here this evening?
Absolutely. The demands, the 5 demands of the hunger strikers is to end censorship and non-association in prison, which makes them deprescription of Palestine action, which speaks to the terror links and weaponization of judicial systems in that way. It's to shut Elbit systems down, which really shouldn't be operating on British soil anyways. It's, you know, it gives Israel 85% of its army equipment, and yeah, sorry, I'm like...
That's okay. I'll mention that in the piece myself. I guess we're done. Anything else you feel like sharing with us?
I think it's one thing to know, this is a long-term thing. This doesn't begin or end with a hunger strike. We need to fight for liberation on all fronts. We need to make sure that, like, we don't end until the war machine ends.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I've got to know all of the prisoners and the hunger strikers really well. And although they've put their life on the line, and although we are worried about their loved ones, I'm more scared for Lamy. Lamy, a reckoning is coming until the demands are met. I visited Amu in the privatized confines of HMP Bronzeville since the summer, and every time I leave feeling nourished from their commitment to resistance. This is someone whose resilience carries with me outside the prison. Someone who loves hikes, someone who loves food and their friends so much. And they're such a good friend, and they love community. They love life so much that they're willing to starve themselves to liberate us all. Because all of us are not liberated, and we are not rested until the Palestinians are liberated. And until the Palestinians are at peace, we do not know what peace is here. My friend Amu writes, to David Lamy, who should be concerned, we see you running, hiding, being told off.
Shame!
We follow the papal trail in your wake, and we know that democracy, tolerance, and the rule of law are a joke you tell at our expense, reading them on the walls of a prison we're confined to without trial. One that uses public money to line private pockets to the tune of £19 billion a year. We see you shrug off any supposed duty of care to us while you rub shoulders with Labour Friends of Israel.
Shame!
Shame on you. And though we may be in your prisons, you are the one who could never escape the weighted gaze of history. But we will not rest until justice is served on a dusty plate. We will have our justice now. We demand an end to the UK's complicity in genocidal war crimes with direct action, with our votes, with our voices, with our hunger striking bodies. And the more you try and hide in your tower, the stronger we will become to uproot you, to open up the very ground you stand on until life can break through. Free Palestine. One body, one fight.
One body, one fight.
We support the hunger strike.
We support the hunger strike.
Our political prisoners are the center of every single fight of yours. And today, we're here to signal that. I want to let you all know, firstly, that the tradition of hunger striking for justice is something nobody should ever resort to doing. But look at all the powers and all the political prisoners that they have to hunger strike against. We have seen the great, glorious Irish hunger strikers when they did their hunger strike in opposition to this colonial state. But look at who are we facing. Look when the Palestinians did their hunger strikes in Israeli prisons, facing Israeli oppression. Look at when Egyptians and Iraqi prisoners and Syrian prisoners did hunger strikes in all of their respective countries. There's one thing in common between all of those countries, that they're all fueling oppression, genocide and war crimes. And this is why we have to stand against all of them as one collective fight, and this is why we're here today. I want to tell you our story of one of my great friends that are hunger striking right now. I remember I met Casa for the first time in the UCL encampment. Where Casa, as a UCL student, she was protesting her university's complicity in genocide. And I remember when we were speaking as a tactic, should we hunger strike to make our universities divest? Should we get them to that point? And I remember Casa saying, even though I know that, as Casa used to call him, Michael Provost doesn't care at all if we die or not. She used to say that the tradition of hunger striking and the message that that sends is a message of solidarity, is a message that we're all one body, in literal sense with the Palestinian president. And Kessa did put her body where she said those words. Kessa right now is in her hunger strike, giving every single one of us a great example about what does it mean to not only say what you believe in, but to be a practical example of what you believe in every day, regardless of who are you facing. And this is why Kessa really, genuinely, Kessa makes us proud because of that. I want to tell you all that to the point that saying shut Albert systems down is controversial, to the point that we say the Arabic world revolution becomes controversial, to the point that our opposition for people being slaughtered in the middle of the so-called ceasefire. Right now, for you to oppose the UK government, for you to oppose this genocide, is not about us only being moral human beings. It's just about us being the base human beings that we are able to see our kids in the future with. So everyone, make no mistake. Again, as we say once and always, this fight knows no individual martyrs. But with the hunger strikers and what they're doing right now, they taught us that being a martyr or being someone that sacrifices for a cause is not what we're looking through. However, what we are doing, everyone by standing here today, is that we're seeking to establish justice in this earth. And this is why I invite you all today, tomorrow, and for the next however time that will take, to march in solidarity of the hunger strikers and their demand. We all know how important they are, and most importantly, to do every single thing we can to shut Albert down. All until that happens, we are not human beings that deserve to call ourselves fighting for justice. So until that happens, let's keep our goal and mindset clear. And let's tell every single police officer that's sitting here today that until you shut Albert down, there is no getting rid of us, and the headache will only get so much more and more and more. Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Say it clear and say it loud! Hunger strikers makes us proud! Say it clear and say it loud! Amu, you make us proud! Amu, you make us proud! Kessa, you make us proud! Kessa, you make us proud! Cameron, you make us proud! Cameron, you make us proud! Heba, you make us proud! Heba, you make us proud! Everyone, I just want to share one last thing with you. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to say a beautiful word that we should all enact. They used to say that the believers are one body. Once any of them gets any sickness or gets any problem, every other part of that body runs to its aid and help. And I invite all of us, as people who believe in humanity, as people who live for what they say, to enact all of us being one body, and for us to be able to see no rest, to see no stopping, until we make sure that not only the hunger strikers are met with their demands, but the Palestinian people, who are the center of every single fight and protest we make, are free. And until then, we are never going to stop marching. And if we all here have one message to Keir Starmer, David Lammy and Mo, is shut Albert down and stop your complicity in the genocide in Palestine. And just until then, the headache is not going to get any lighter, it's only going to get worse. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'd assume so with social media
Right. Well, let's hope so.
Thank you.
Stand by there for the time being. Let's go build inside.
People gira silly.
I'm hoping we can go down.